guys. We're running a little bit behind schedule. Sorry for that. What is up? Astrobate Bob. Bob must be complaining already. Mr. Coffee. What's up, guys? My favorite people. Good to see you guys. Cheer me up. It keeps me... You guys keep me from getting depressed. You know, I mean, it's like my self-help group. I do this because you are my self-help group, guys. Thank you. So, Arsenal. I need Arsenal here because that way I know it can always be worse. Mr. Coffee helps keep me balanced. Astrobate, constantly support. Thank you, guys. Bob. Bob adds a little bit of fun to the mix. All right, so we're ready to get started. We're doing challenges 5+3 through 7+3. Good to see you guys. Last raid went through like 4 streamers, ending up on... Yesterday I raided interactive chess, Astrobate. You're not talking about that, right? Last night's stream. I had to take like melatonin to go to sleep. It was like the simul's just really revved me up, man. I had to take like a supplement. Alright, we got 2 challenges here. Arsenal fan and Save a Dog. So, good simul yesterday, only 2 losses. Very impressive gains by Someone on Sound and Dragon B. Merle Dixon already donated 101 bits. He gets it in there before... He's not even here. He donates before he even arrives. He likes to be the first one. It started with interactive chess. What do you mean? Are you talking about yesterday? Continue to snowball? You're going to behave yourself today, Bob. What's up, guys? Let's get started. I'm taking challenges casual 5-3 through 7+3. Don't forget to make it casual. Save a Dog by Sun Off. We're taking subscribers first, unlike Friday. Bob, sensitive. He's not as bad as Arsenal fan. Arsenal fan's more sensitive than me, which is not easy to do. I'm pretty sensitive. But let's get going. All right. Anybody's going to complain that I play knight f3 and c4 every game? Someone rightfully pointed out, Arsenal, I think, yesterday, trying to convince that guy it's a sign of respect. It's true. I play knight f3 and c4 because it is my tournament repertoire. Since I'm only a semi-professional player, I don't really have that much time to fully devote to my opening repertoire, and so stuff like knight f3 and c4, it's a little easier to handle than studying, like, you know, the Najdorf or something like that. All right, let's get started. Without further ado, we are starting a little bit late, guys. Sorry, I had a lesson right up to the stream. Sometimes that happens. It was unexpected today. But lessons are good. Keeps me in business. Percy Hepper says c4 is a manly opening. Most people at the Straight Pride Parade tend to support c4. That was what I heard, but not really sure. Knight f3, knight c6. All right. Bishop to b5. More popular with manly people, apparently. I think Michael Adams, I was going over Michael Adams before in my lesson in a Michael Adams game. And I really, as I mentioned before in my stream, when you take a great e4 player and you make him play c4, it does seem like you're watering them down, you know. I'm not proud of the fact that I play knight f3 and c4. I mean, I would like to be a full-blooded e4 player. Fischer said that e4 was best by test, and he meant it. You know, he wasn't being... He really believed that, and he wasn't just saying it because he wants his opening to be the best. I mean, I think Bobby literally believed it, and he might be right, you know. It's kind of difficult to say mathematically if e4 is better than d4, but you can argue that it activates the pieces more. I think d4 is safer, and c4 and knight f3 are even maybe safer than d4. So the knight d4 against the Sicilian, not supposed to be very good. But this is not something that I sit around really thinking about, typically. Bob, isn't e4 the oldest one out there? Well, Bob, you're not a chess history expert. But I mean, e4 was played like almost exclusively up till a point, it seems like. Maybe the mid 1800s. There were always exceptions. Let's say the early 1800s, there were probably people who played d4, but very rarely. As we got closer and closer to the turn of the century, like 1900, probably, you started seeing like less or more exceptions to like e4, more exceptions to e4, e5. But in the 20th century, d4 became respected as a equal alternative to e4. I fully admit that I don't think that c4 is quite as good as the other two, but it's safer. Okay, e6 here. The idea for black is to play, well, one idea is to play d5. I'm not sure if that's necessarily the best move. I keep thinking I'm playing the birds or Lopez here. Obviously it's not. It's hard to choose a move here. d3, c3, bishop b3. d3 looks a little bit feeble. I think b5 is slightly weakening for black. Are you going to try to play just straight up? I'm going to kill you with f4, f5 if I can. Grand Prix style. Same as in the bird's defense to the Roy Lopez. You know, for some reason it hadn't really dawned on me that I was playing Arsenal. Because the old days he didn't play the Sicilian. I'm still not fully there yet. Again, today I was moving boxes and mowing my lawn and doing stuff like that rather than concentrating on chess. So I'm awake. I haven't been sleeping, but I've been doing non-chess things all day till the last hour or so. So my mind isn't really chess oriented yet. Masturbate says what? Rodrigo Roy Lopez de Segura, 1530 to 1580. I'm almost that old. Knight f3. Knight g4. Gotta watch the knight g4. There are other moves for white. I could have played f5. This is highly materialistic. Actually, maybe he could play knight g4, knight takes d4 now. He really has to protect his pawn. I hate the structure for black. Like when I'm black and this happens to me in the closed Sicilian, I hate when this happens. I always have problems with this pawn. I'm only accepting Bitcoin offers for the house. I wasn't aware of that, but if they're over 400,000, I will consider. So this is a strong move, Queen b6, developmental, supporting like knight g4, knight e3 maybe. Now if knight g4, I have knight takes d4. I'm not that convinced this is a good move for me. Knight g4, knight takes d4, knight takes h2, and who has the last laugh? Arsenal fan. I'm probably better there. Knight g4, knight d4, knight h2, king h2, and I have the central pawn majority. So that should be advantageous. How many bits does it take to buy a house? bits coins. My neighbor is selling their house. They're having a open house today. They've got some lowball offers, and I can't wait for that. You know, people to offer me a totally inappropriate amount for my house. I have to prepare to answer them without getting angry. All right, King H1. 36 bitcoins. You guys coming with low ball offers already. Wow. No questions asked. F7 could be a major problem too. We got to pry open the queen side, artificially isolate a6. Exceedingly risky plan here by Arsenal fan to castle queen side. I wouldn't be caught dead here. B4 looks weak. His king is a target. F7 is a problem. But this was an interesting choice. Queen C5. And I can really pile up on B4. 2-car pile up. Am I going to regret this? First things first. We'll hit F7. We'll stop knight G4. We'll bring it back to here so I have knight B6 check. But I was hoping to pick off his B pawn, just surround it. Bishop D2, Queen E1, Rook A4. Physically surround it. When you bought your house, I offered the asking price, but you tried to go 5,000 over. Wait. You know what's jacked up? When I bought my house, I offered the asking price, and he tried to go 5,000 over what he was initially asking. Damn, dude. Oh, that's sick. So that is weird. My neighbors were telling me a story how some guy offered them something and then later like pretended like it never happened. Like, I didn't say that. I didn't say 36,500. I said 33,700. Okay. It's good to know. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to be in the process of trying to sell my house, so preparing for negotiations with buyers. But I have I'll probably have a real estate agent by that point. All right, so H5. Yeah, the preparations are in place for the fishing pole here. I don't really intend on opening the H file. I want to pick this pawn off. Pick a pawn, any pawn. All right, all of our greatest. Deep breath. Our greatest closed Sicilian Grand Prix attack experience coming in here. El Rosador. Actually, the market is really good for, it's good for sellers now. There's no reason for me to take any crap. Exactly. I'm just going to tell people to go to hell if they offer me inappropriate. You know what the problem is? There are these TV shows where people are like flipping houses. Everybody thinks they're a house flipper now. They watch too much TV. Let's think about this for a minute. All along the Watchtower, all along I have been thinking about just playing E5 and assuming I was going to play E5, but maybe taking is an option. ED, knight D5, knight D5, bishop D5, bishop D5, queen D5. It's not that easy. Good job by Acerbate. Sorry, Arsenal. You're a different person. Yesterday I was calling everyone Move 11. Nothing wrong with Acerbate, but he's a different person. And I want to call you by your proper names. Well, my neighbors are selling their house, and their house isn't as good as my house. So I'm curious to see what happens over there. All right, testing the waters. The lady was like, why don't you try to sell your house on isoldmyhouse.com? But I'm not sure about these like online website like places, like how successful that's actually going to be. Good job. Good job. Way to hang in there. What am I doing? Man, Arsenal really hanging tough. Putting as much pressure on him as I can. This is like trying to pull teeth. I feel like I'm a dentist. What a good D. Well, that's right, Bob. You know, time is money, friend. It's a World of Warcraft joke. Many of you won't get it, but time is money, Bob. There's no question about that. Bishop c6. Wow, he let me play h4. So there I thought he has to play h4 and artificially isolate that one. Now I just go h4. Stress is money too. That's right. I agree with you, Bob. You can't get shortchanged though. I'm a reasonable person. But I don't want to cheat myself. I just sold an $8,000 baseball bat for $700. So I don't want that to happen again. Yeah, this is looking really, really dead for black now. Too many weaknesses. You could like sack the exchange. You could sack the exchange with like rook takes d4. Yeah. It's sad, isn't it? Maybe 10. I feel good. You saw a Matchbox car go for 100,000? Wow. I've heard of like coins and stuff that are rare, but not Matchbox cars. Yeah, my new Facebook profile is baseball bat salesman. I dabble in chess and poker. Yes. Wait a minute here. I'm just taking. I win a piece. You have a Ken Griffey Jr. signed baseball that has no value? Why is that? Why would it have no value? Like little value or no value? That Hulk. I got that Hulk. What did I find? Old TV show posters. I got some good comic books. Scooby-Doo 1977. number 7. It's worth $20. There's new things I found today. I haven't put on eBay yet. A couple of old comic books worth like 20 bucks each. Alright guys, check out the eBay channel. Save a Dog, Bisonov, Blobix. Okay, I'm taking subscribers. Trip Chance, I don't think it's a subscriber. Dimitri is not a subscriber. Or are you, actually? Primary Disease might be a subscriber. Well, Arsenal played 94, and it's not a good line because of the structural problems. Arsenal, you taking off? Thank you for the game. So you can challenge me to anything between 5+3 and 8+3. I told the story about the baseball bat, but what I didn't realize was that it was an actual bat that was used in professional games. Nobody ever knew. So I'm still getting over it, like the $8,000 loss. 1977 was Scrappy Doo period. Are you sure? I think that was a little bit later, wasn't it? Like early 80s? Anyway, my Scooby-Doo is worth like 20 bucks. I saw it on eBay. So Save a Dog is playing English defense here, which I've actually played with black myself. Transposing. Speaking of scalp and hair, I had in John Wayne Gacy, I found a Howdy Doody record in my house. I thought, oh, maybe this would be worth something. It's worth like $10 or something. There's this like creepy clown on it. So if you like creepy clowns, I've got a record for you. Howdy Doody, no, but they had a clown that was creepy. I forget, it was like Buffalo Bob, or what was the name of the clown? This way, 15 years before my time, but there was definitely a clown involved on the show. It looks a little like John Wayne Gacy. I can't remember where I'm supposed to put my queen here. Bob said it's Buffalo Bob. I wasn't sure if Buffalo Bob was the guy or the clown. Okay, I don't know where I'm supposed to put my queen. I'm usually playing black. Clarabelle? No, it's like a man. Clarabelle is a cow, Bob. The cow, clow. So it's more your generation, Asterbait. It's late. It's a little early even for you. I was expecting, oh, maybe it's worth like 50 bucks. It's like nothing. Scrappy Doo was introduced in 1979. Don't mess with my Scooby-Doo knowledge. That was like one of my favorite cartoons when I was a little kid. Not gonna best me there. I think they're leaving messages from the... Your computer has a virus. Please pay $400 now. Can't wait to turn off my landline. Oh, it must be the police chief giving a speech or something. Does anybody else here live in the United States in a town where their police chief calls and makes speeches on your answering machine? Maybe it's early hurricane preparations for next week. It's going on forever. Listening to my answer machine in the other room. There's like different voices too. I gotta go listen to this. This is weird. I hear a woman's voice and a man's voice on the same recording on my answering machine. I've never had that before. And it's extremely long. B3, D5, CD. Knight takes D5. That was the longest message I think I ever got. So he can actually play B3, D5. That's hard to believe. CD, knight takes D5. I spent a lot of time on this move, but I got distracted by the phone. Dorian is effectively category 6. What? There is no category 6, right? I thought it went down to category 4. The last I checked, it had gone down from category 5 to category 4. But who knows what's going to happen? It could like hit New England. It could like go out to sea and like crash into Massachusetts or something. Like nobody knows what's going on with this hurricane. We really have no knowledge. Generally, where I live in the United States doesn't get hit very hard because we're far enough north. But there have been hurricanes that have done serious damage up here. Bob, you lived in the Carolinas, right? What's up with that? Now you're in California. You're safe. The last thing I want is like the month before I sell my mom's house, it's like destroyed by a hurricane. That would be pretty sad. That's just your luck. At least we have home insurance. Overcharging. We have overpriced home insurance. Yeah, the Bahamas, but it's, I mean, I don't know how people, you'd have to be a millionaire to even, there's like either poor people or millionaires. There's like nothing in between in the Bahamas. Either like impoverished, like slaves of people who have $1 million homes, or they're just millionaires. I'm really sorry for the poor people who live there. They don't have money to like, they don't have money to really pay for like safe buildings and stuff. Then the rich people can just like rebuild their $1 million houses next year. You don't see like a middle class living in the Bahamas, you know. D6, B3, B3 again. But B3 I like better now. Bob, where are you now? Mr. Coffee has contacts with Florida. Yeah, I mean, I would, even if I had millions of dollars, I don't think I could buy a property in a place like that where there's like a threat every year of your house getting like blown away. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Well, the thing is, Bob, it's like hotels here too. I mean, maybe they import workers that actually aren't technically residents, right? So in the Bahamas, maybe they have like 50,000 workers from Jamaica, you know, that aren't Bahamian residents, but they live there. You know what I mean? They're like workers who work in hotels and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing, but I know where I live here, like there are tons of foreign workers because nobody wants to work, Bob. That's the problem. Knight takes e4, bishop takes, bishop g5 is kind of a fun line. Fun. Too fancy though. Too fancy. You don't have much here, but it's something. You're still in North Carolina. Well, I think that the story is lots of workers probably who aren't counted as residents. But I guess, you know, they don't have to worry about their property getting destroyed. Just dying, getting drowned. All right, let's go. Long games today. We've got 6 challenges, guys. Only subscribers first. On Fridays, I take challenges from everybody in any old order, but we're taking all the subscribers first. Mondays and Wednesdays we're not doing. So when I go back to Budapest, once my life is normal again, in the fall, I'll start doing Wednesday streams again. Master has that. 95. We're aware of that possibility. Eventually I'll play f4. Not just yet. Hopefully I'll be able to play f4. Maybe bishop h3 and then f4. We could do it in the other order too, f4 first. But I'm a little scared of tactics like f4 e6, rook d6. Stuff involving knight g4 here. Space giants. What are you talking about, Acerbate? Wow, this is an exceedingly passive move. He's trying to play rook c5. This is a little bit like a very famous game, actually. Botvinnik versus Lilienthal. Lilienthal, Hungarian grandmaster who played for the Soviets. Didn't die that long ago. I was always sort of bummed that I never met him. He was such a historical figure. He was the oldest grandmaster in the world for a long time. But he lost this really nasty game against Botvinnik. Similar hedgehog sort of structure. But it looks like Sabadog sort of kind of found a good resource with rook c5. Very hard to crack him. Maybe on time to crack him. Looks like he's holding up here. He just dropped a piece. I mean, knight c6 is the whole point. Knight c6, I don't see an easy way for white to make progress. I don't know. He just dropped a piece. What's going on after knight c6? I mean, I don't see a way to make forward progress here. This is kind of tough, actually. Gift game. Spatially, white's better, but it's hard to break through. Computer suggesting queen e3, looking at this. f5 was something on my radar, but queen e3 would make it, you know, I didn't see that. I don't think I would have found queen e3. I was looking at e5, f5, more direct moves. Danikas is a subscriber. Okay. Dimitri. Thanks for reminding me. So I never know. Like sometimes people's subscriptions lapse. Today my neighbors called me. They were like, our cat is having a seizure. Can you pick us up at the supermarket? I was like, what? But the seizure had finished by the time I got home. That was weird. Okay, Blysanov, Blobix, Dimitri, Stuk. Primary disease, let me know if you're still a subscriber. Were you here before? HTFP, thanks for the donation. All right. Baisanov, we played a good game yesterday in the simul against them. Please no London system. Alright. You know that's coming. Against almost everyone. It's such a trendy opening. Gosh. Good. Thank you for not playing bishop f4. Alright. King's Indian with fianchetto. Let's try c5. So this could lead to a Benoni. This is not something I typically play. I've played it before when White played c4. I normally don't play it when White hasn't played c4 yet. I'm kind of expecting him to play c4 for some reason. Baisanov, were you the one who played against the Dutch, right? I played the Dutch, you're the one who played like b3 against my Dutch. Wasn't that it? In honor of Paul Benko, who passed away, Baisanov looks well prepared here with the instant a4. What if I play bishop b7? What do you think about that? We can do a deal. I'll trade you my b pawn, my other b pawn, for my d pawn, for your d pawn. Sorry. You always try b3 and I'm confused. No, you played a Leningrad. I played a Leningrad Dutch. I think it was against you, wasn't it? The other day, where you played a b3, like very solid setup. Astrobate, it is Paul, but Paul is Paul. Very surprisingly. Paul is the Hungarian form of Paul. So we can call him Paul or Paul. He was American and Hungarian. You know, he was a Hungarian who became an American resident for like 30 years. So I guess we can call him either thing. He would appreciate it either way, I'm sure. But since most of my viewers are not Hungarian, I figured I'd call him Paul. Yeah, the Hungarian pronunciation is like Paul without the U. Like it looks. And you say Benko Paul, so Paschall Monday. They pronounce my name Paschall, something like that. I gave up trying to correctly tell people how to say my name a long time ago. Knight e1. Now bishop h1 next. Is that the plan? Just kidding. But a very thematic move. Nice job trying to secure d5. But I said I'm not compromising here. He will not compromise. You'll make more friends if you let people call you what they feel comfortable with. All right. Bob, since when did you care about making more friends? The beer is good. We got the Belgian white beer today. Yesterday I was drinking Pilsner Urquell. For you Czech beer lovers out there. Decision time. If b4 c4, b4 c4, or even b4 e4 for that matter. I don't know why I'm thinking so much about this. Let's just play a6. I'm going to try to keep the tension. I guess this is the positionally most correct move. But he has time to play e4 now, secure his pawn. Or he could play c4 as sort of temporary pawn sack. That's another idea. e6. e6 is possible. It's kind of a sexy move. Very, very risky, but cool. E6 takes E5, bishop takes G2, pawn takes F6, bishop takes F1, pawn takes G7. I'm gonna have to look at this. E6, pawn takes E6. Actually, I have other moves there, like bishop E4 or knight E4 as well. Knight E4. E6, D, E, F, E, E5. Bishop takes G2, pawn takes F6. Wow, that gets kind of scary. Bishop takes F1, pawn takes G7. I don't really like that anymore. You guys hear a weird noise? It's my stomach because I didn't eat enough. You might hear my stomach growling. I'm sorry. Extremely hungry, so do not talk about food during the stream under any circumstances. I could play various moves here. All right, let's just do it this way. This is a little bit more conservative, but safer, perhaps. Just not challenging his center right away. I don't want to leave it there too long, though. I really would like to play E6. Did anybody figure that line out? F's. Is this really a problem? I feel like I'm missing something. D6 is like a cold pizza. Nice analogy. That's a great analogy. Or cold shower. Told you guys not to talk about food. Pizza is like the worst thing you could mention. So delicious and easy to order. Man, I don't eat on my stream, you know? Like a warm salad. Ugh. All right. Can I play E6? I don't know. He's going to get a strong piece here on C4. But we got this. I'd probably be a good Benko player if I actually had cared to really learn the opening. He's got B3. Damn it. He's holding this together. My bishop is like, masturbate. What did I tell you about that bishop in the Queen's Indian? Owen's defense. Don't leave it on B7 stuffed by that pawn on D5. Look at this move. I have this cool idea now. Knight C4, bishop G7, knight E3. Then he has queen A1. That's ridiculous. Knight F1. Alright, whatever. He has some spatial advantage with D5, but it's kind of negated by the number of exchanges I'm able to make. Yeah, I'm not going to take a chance on this piece getting to be a problem. This is a very debatable move by me, but I'm running out of time. I'm impressed by Baisanov. Even though he's lost all 10 games against me, he's playing great positional game here. White's still fine. Oh no, not another Kasparov exhibition tournament. Are you kidding? Why doesn't he have a sort of match with Nigel Short again or something like that? I really miss that. B4, like it almost wins by force. I think it just wins. I mean, I knew I was living dangerously here. This is a great game by White. He missed one forced win so far. Unbelievably, he's like 1,500 in bullet. He just lost his mind. I mean, like, queen takes c5 and White is better. Hard to believe he's 1,500 in bullet. Now he's got some problems. Sure, if this was a good move by me. What an amazing technique here. $1,500 in bullet. Wow. That was a tough game. Damn. I mean, it had to be a draw. That was crazy, dude. Okay, I don't know. He's got 1,800, 1,800, 1,800, and 1,500 in bullet, but the bullet rating, forget about that. That's like ridiculous. Okay, Blobix. I could have offered a draw. Why would I do a thing like that? Why would you do that, Bob? Why offer a draw? Want to win. We had winning chances. I mean, it was a draw probably, but his pawns are on the wrong color. You know, it's a tough defense. To honor a nice game. All right. Weird move from Blubix, 97. It's like, did I play G4? Or I like G4 97. Blobix. That's my favorite. That's my favorite defense to the Grob, man. But I did not play G4. All right. All joking aside, what do we want to do? I mean, C4 just transposes to a standard English. Kind of like, what do we want to do? What's not boring? Here. Knight F3. He could play E4. Okay, that'd be fun though. A weird Aliakin. Yeah, he can definitely play an early H5. Guys, thanks for supporting the stream. Merle Dixon this week donated 101. Last week we had some generous donations. Don't forget, it's a new week. September, the first week of September. Knight C6. Aliakin reversed. I don't want to give him like a Pierts. He likes this 97 thing in the Pierts. He did that to me with colors reversed once. I don't want to give him that. He's going to force me to play the English. I really don't see a better option here. I mean, I could play E4. D4 allows E4, so I don't really like that. D3 gives him that reverse Pierts he likes. So it's time to stake out some central space. He can play D5 and transpose to a normal dragon reversed if he wants to. Now we're going to get like a kind of classic position. Although D4, again, D4, E4, but now it's different. D4, E4, Knight G5. Maybe that's kind of okay for white. Although D4, D6 is probably okay for black. Let's do it. D4, Bishop G7. He takes and Bishop G7 is a line. ED, Knight takes D4, Bishop G7. And then what do I do? Probably consider retreats like Knight C2. He's going to force me to play the English. Did I say that? I mean, obviously I could play E4 and some kind of weird symmetrical King's Indian, but it's ugly blocking my bishop on G2. I know that D3 would be bad and he would get a Pierts reverse. Why give black a advantage voluntarily. Well, I mean, I think that mathematically c4 is the best move in this position. e4 is probably okay. But if you don't stake out some center, now you're going to be worse. I'll bet you $1 that Stockfish says c4 is the best move for white there. I don't know. Uh-oh. Did not expect this. I thought this was a little over the top. But Blubix likes playing interesting chess. Now I'm going to go for it. Structural devastation. Blindly. Blindly going where no man has gone before. Sounds suspiciously like Star Trek. But at least this creates some disruption in Black's position. I don't really want to lose my c-pawn for nothing. That could happen at times. Pizza will not be mentioned again on the stream. Or any other sort of delicious food. Guys, welcome to my stream. International Master Slaggy here with our friends in Ponda. Master, you left a message on one of my videos. Was it good or bad? Good message or a bad message? Friendly? Man, my stomach is hungry. Didn't have time to eat properly today. Queen d6. Queen d6 looks a little dangerous. That wasn't my plan to do that, you know? This knight is obviously going to get kicked back at some point. Anyone who's considering sacrificing a piece here is just nuts. That was never my intention. Maybe just knight c3 developing. Have another one, Blobix. Help yourself. Greedy player might take knight takes. But it looks unwise. Bill sent PayPal, $10 support, just letting you know. It didn't ask your username. Bob, why are you being so mean? All right. What is a tomahawk steak? I should probably know that. I like red meat, but all right. Anyway, not going to let you suck me into this discussion about food. Lomic's doing a good job. Queen takes d6. I don't really want that pawn. If b3, knight takes c4 is the problem. But what about knight b5 here? Knight c4, knight d6 check, takes, queen takes. Yeah, I think I've seen that before, Bob. Thanks, Fish Rat Cow. Also, HTFP, Merle Dixon, these guys donated this week. Roasted hen. I could go for duck, maybe. Roasted duck. Turkey started coming back to my yard. Might want to catch one of them. Probably against hunting regulations, I would expect. But if one disappeared, no one would be the worse for wear. It's getting more and more tempting to like sack a piece, but I just don't. Astrobate, what would you do? Would you sack a piece on e4 here? Would anybody raise your hands if you would sacrifice a piece on e4? That's coffee house chess. That is some coffee house chess, you guys. But I think my whole play is a little bit sketchy, a little bit coffee house in style anyway. We've got a new place to go. Queen b3 like is nice because it stops him from castling, and if queen c7 I have knight b5 with a hammer blow. Queen c4, knight d6 check. But the question is, am I going to pull the trigger on like knight g1? Or are we going to do an Astrobate like piece sacrifice g5, knight takes g5? Astrobate, you wouldn't do that, would you? Sorry for using it as an example. Even Astrobate wouldn't sack his knight on g5. Wow, Blubix just... Wow. He played knight c6. It's like surprising me a little bit. Letting my knight back in the game. So knight f4, taking up permanent residence. Knight d4. Knight f4, knight d4, queen d1. Yeah, looks okay to me. Time could really play an important role here. King Crusher would sack it. The dude must be completely coffee house. I played a couple games with him. It's been a long time. Mr. Coffee House. Blobik saw the sleazy tactic here. But now I can keep my pawn. Is that really a priority? If I castle, he plays knight takes c4, I have knight takes g6. If I castle, he plays g5, I play knight h5. I don't need to protect that pawn. Like, seriously. My favorite knight on f4. Coffee House plays at Starbucks. Well, ever since they fired him at Dunkin' Donuts. Mr. Coffee's been going to the chess club at Starbucks. He doesn't feel bad about it in the least. Wasn't right what they did to him at Dunkin' Donuts, though. Anyway, the chess club at Starbucks is much classier than the one at Dunkin' Donuts. Don't you agree? I would prefer like an independent indie coffee house. But if I have to choose between Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks, I'll bite my lip and go to Starbucks. The coffee's just horrible at Dunkin' Donuts. It's like water. After living in Europe for 15 years, it's hard to drink Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Chess clubs here like to hang out at the corner casino. I'm just saying what Asturbate's saying. At the end of the day, structure. We'll pay the price. Nice job, Blubix. Continuing to stay tough. There goes the bishop. Uh-oh. Looks like he's a little bit in panic mode. Well, he's got huge time pressure. That's ugly. Wow. All right. Does the job, though. It does the job. Man, look at him. Look at him coming after me. Whoa. F4. Usually I'm the one trying to trade queens against Blobix, but the roles are reversed now. He's trying to trade queens. I don't really want to trade bishops. Oh, look at this. Dr. Open File. He's so materialistic. Hanging on to that d-pawn like his life depended on it. Damn. Very debatable move by me. Probably a big mistake now. F4. Wanted to take the square away. Risky. Just because I'm in time pressure. I might be better here, but I'm going to be generous. I'm going to be generous. I don't see a win for white. I'm probably better somehow. Let's see. Wow, the computer is actually calling it 0. God, I defended. You defended like God. So the computer actually agrees with you, with us, that it's 0. It's interesting. Not just because of the repetition. There's actually 2 moves and both are 0 evaluation. Funny. Okay, this was a good game. Interesting game. I enjoyed it. So who else's subscribers? Dimitri, Primary Disease, can you change your challenge, please, before the game starts? If you can. My maximum time control is 7+3. Second question, is Primary Disease still a subscriber? Can we get a confirmation on that? Oh, he's not a subscriber. Okay. He'll have to wait. Stuk would be next. All right. Dimitri's on a trip chance, has to wait. Primary Disease. Those 2 guys have to wait for the subscribers games and challenge me to 7+3 maximum. Hopefully we have time to get in these games, what are up there now. Should be able to play the rest of those games for today. I don't think I said the max was 8+3 earlier, Purple Dragoons. I haven't done 8+3 in like 2 years. But, you know, anything's possible. Sometimes weird stuff slips out of my mouth. Well, Bob gifted a tier 1 sub. Our resident troublemaker. I forgot I'm playing Demetrius, the guy who plays F3. I hate this move. Alright, let's see what he's got for me this time. Now he's got time to like prepare. Because we've played this so many times now. Blobix misplayed this last week and lost with white. Dimitri is a sub, isn't he? Yeah, he just said he was like 10 minutes ago. Pay attention, Bob. You're on it. One day you can be a mod too. If you're only a little more alert. Sorry. Alright. Sorry, I was burgering a cook. E takes d5, C takes d5. Yeah. I think the white's supposed to play f4 there. Or some other move to stop e5. It's basically like a reverse Grunfeld now. I had the center from hell. Black has the initiative now. I mean, you've got to play a more accurate move here if you want to play this position. White might be in serious trouble already. Lamburger, nice. Actually, I have tomorrow night off, so I might be... I was going to do fish, swordfish. $9.99 special on swordfish this week. Very rare. It's usually like $15 a pound. It said product of USA, but the guy at the seafood counter told me it wasn't really. I'm not really sure what that meant. What do you think he meant by that? They're just outright lying about where it's from, or? Usually the swordfish comes from Ecuador, what we get. In the off season, you can get swordfish for $9.99, but it's very rare to see it like Labor Day weekend. Alright, I feel like I've had this position before. Once. D4. Knight e4. Bishop b4 checks c3. That doesn't look good. Almost works for black. I could almost like sack my queen or something crazy. This has to be good for black. I just don't know what the best choice is. d4, knight e4, queen a5 check, bishop d2, bishop b4. Even that's good for black. Actually, d4, knight e4, queen a5 check, bishop d2, bishop b4, c3. D takes e3. Again, even that's good for black. I'm not sure, though, if I should maintain the tension and play something like bishop e7. The red snapper is that's more of a southern thing, I think, Bob. It's because you're from, like, the Carolinas. We don't do that up here. I gotta eat seafood because I live in Hungary most of the year, and it's kind of hard to come by, you know, ocean fish in Eastern Europe. You get your swordfish steaks from like the North Sea, or they don't have swordfish. Maybe they do. Maybe the Mediterranean. Do they have swordfish in the Mediterranean? I'll have to ask Jim. It's a good question. A resident Greek fisherman. So Dimitri Las here, kind of groveling. This is a very good endgame for black. We also have the option not to trade queens on his terms. But I like the endgame. Let's do it. Confident with my endgame play. Black is better here. Soften him up a little bit. Strong center. I mean, with potential for like 2 connected pass pawns in some positions. We're actually playing a Greek player. Our opponent can tell us about Mediterranean fish. Blubby, what? You found a novelty on the second move? Wait a minute. What? What are we talking about? Novelties on the second move. Our rooks. Resident rooks. I'm not sure about rook b8. Controversial. Knight e7 is a novelty, according to lichess Opening Explorer, Blobix. If Fuchsia was here, she would poo-poo that. I'm sure that in like ChessBase we'll find like a million Knight e7s. But they're all from the Sri Lankan under-8 championship. Or something like that. Just completely random tournaments. I mean, maybe it's a novelty at the master level. You know, I mean, it's possible. It just seems too logical for it not to have been played by at least like 2100. And the other thing is that games that aren't included in the lichess Opening Explorer include games like where a 2600 played a 2199. Like, that game should be in all relevant databases. All right. This like arbitrary cutoff of games where both players have to be 22.00, you know, 2200 exactly for the game to be included. It's sort of stupid. That king is living. What is the Aerosmith song? Wait. Someone cue up Living on a Prayer. Are you that living on the edge? That's it. It's living on the edge, man. This is seriously living on the edge. Oh. No, he made a very big mistake. Like, b4 instead of rook b1, I thought gives black good chances, white good chances. I'm a little bit paralyzed to my a6 pawn. This was a big mistake. As Nick DeFermian told me, the classic advice, pawns should protect pawns, not pieces. Man, he might have a just insane defense here. I don't believe it. No, it doesn't work, thank God. For a second I thought like rook bd8, rook b7 check, but I have king f8 there. It's so sick, like if bc, rook takes b1, bishop takes b1. Actually, maybe he's not lost here. Whoops. No, he is. He is. He's lost here. You're going to request. Well, that's Bon Jovi. Living on the Edge is Bon Jovi. Oh my God. I hate Bon Jovi. Whew. Can't believe I confused Aerosmith with Bon Jovi. I feel sick. No, there seems to be a disagreement. I think that Bob's right. Living on a Prayer is Bon Jovi. I agree. I wouldn't have been excited by something by Bon Jovi. Maybe Mr. Coffee's younger than me, and he's into Bon Jovi. I don't know. Actually, it's really funny because my neighbor, or actually not my neighbor, but my mom's old neighbor who moved away like 5 years ago, couldn't take all his records with him. And he was like this 75-year-old man. And he left like a 2,000 record collection. Very little modern stuff, but a few good things like, I don't know, David Bowie, maybe some Elton John. That was like the most modern music he had. Except there was like one Bon Jovi record. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Anything but Bon Jovi. A 2,000 record collection for free. Nobody wants records. What am I gonna do with all these records? They're worth like very little at a record store. Does anybody here have an eBay app on their phone? It's really cool. Because when something sells, it makes like a ka-ching sound on your phone when you sold something. I kind of like that. That's what I want to do when I play Rook takes F3 check. It's like the ka-ching sound from eBay. I'm not sure that Steven Tyler is an interesting person. I just don't like Bon Jovi. Certainly, Aerosmith is, I think, a much more important band in music history. And not just because I lived in Boston. I mean, they're just, you know, if rock bands had ratings, like Aerosmith would be like 2,500 and Bon Jovi would be like 23.99 or something like that. That's just my opinion, but all right. Van Halen is good. I mean, Van Halen in an era of all those hair bands and stuff. I actually have a Van Halen like sign, like a mirror, one of these old 80s like mirror signs that you'd get at like the fair or something. But there's a lot of different, you know, questions about Van Halen. Like, do you like Van Halen when, you know, for example, David Lee Roth was in the band, or it depends. But another band that's 2,500, you know, you can't put like Bon Jovi in a category with Aerosmith and Van Halen, and there's no, you know, it's not even close. Blubix, the Coke mirrors, yeah, we have some of those. Subscribers, all right. Eddie Money, I don't know. He's like 23.75. Bob. I don't think I ever had any Eddie Money. You know, he's one of those sort of lesser tier players. He was a master, but not a strong master. It's kind of like Tarash. Not one of my favorites. Admittedly, he was strong, but he's an NM. Yeah. He was an NM. A weak NM. It's funny to compare music to chess ratings. Okay, so Stook busting the Shirazi on me. Funny, when I was like 2100 and I saw Kamran Shirazi play this, I thought it's just absurd, you know, it's totally unsound. But come on, I mean, g6, really? h4 is a gutsy way to play. So let's try to be creative. Knight f6, e5, knight h5. Can I do that? I've never analyzed that. We'll try something fun. Can this be the chat from now on? Like comparing music to chess ratings? That'd be fun. g4. Maybe g4 is the best move. Very likely the best move. Blubix is number 1, 600 bits. Damn it, why do you have to listen to the stream while you're playing, Stook? He's trying to kill me here. Jakob Muri. Formerly of France. Did you ever meet him, Blubix? Didn't he live in France? Now he lives in Israel. He's one of the more creative grandmasters in the opening. In the 80s, at least. Really before I started getting active in tournament chess, around that time. So we're basically playing sort of Alyekin's defense here. Let's attack the center. You share travels in your car and apartments. Wow. That's certainly knowing somebody. Jim just donated 200 bits. I saw a post recently on Facebook where Murray was at some tournament in Israel. He must be pretty old. The 70s or something. But he was regarded as a amazingly creative player. But he had a lot of openings where he did this. You know, in English with white, fianchetto setups where the knight could retreat back to like g2. That's why we don't play bishop g7, because we're going to fianchetto the knight instead and hope that the opponent is overextended here. Now, Stook, I think you just blundered. Your g4 pawn, sir. He turned 78. A lot of these young whippersnappers don't know anything about the old generation of chess grandmasters, but they only know who like Dingley Wren and Magnus Carlsen is. But there are a lot of fantastic chess players, you know, from the 80s and 90s, and obviously before that. But I think I have an interesting... I think I've had an interesting perspective, like being kind of able to see players from all different generations in my career so far. You know, I've played players who were really old school. People like Leonid Shamkovich, and I've played an Arthur Bisgeier and players, you know, like that. And I've played Magnus Carlsen. And so I've had a really good chance to play, you know, different generations of players. Being in my peak years, 39. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining my stream. Stook here seems to be confused by this ultra hyper modernism, inspired by Grandmaster Jakob Murray. But I think he should have gone for it, actually. Like after knight g7, he should probably go all in, whole hog h5, like in for a penny, in for a pound. Stook. I would have played g takes h5, and then if you play g takes h5, I'll play h6 and stop you. Well, I guess h6 isn't mandatory. But then again, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you spent hundreds of hours analyzing with Yakov. Wow. No great results due to my poor skills. You went back to your main role driving and preparing breakfasts. You're an amateur cook. Always a useful thing. No, we dropped a g4 pawn with white here. That's bad. Success. Hyper modern success. Trip Chance says it's 4 a.m. Can you accept my challenge a little sooner, please? Trip Chance, you should have... Trip Chance, where are you? 4 a.m. It says you're from Iran, but it's not 4 a.m. in Iran, is it? That doesn't make sense. Is it that late? Wow. Is Iran really 4 a.m.? I had no clue. Wow. I didn't realize it was so many hours ahead of like Europe. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, we'll take your challenge next. That's fine. Technically, I'm supposed to play the subscribers first, but I basically promised I'd play these games anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. I don't mind to play him next. But if in general, with the subscribers particularly, if you guys are particularly needing to play, you know, earlier, ahead of the other players, you can always ask like that. Never really think about the time zones in the Middle East, how much further ahead of Europe it is. Okay, C6. I think about European time and American time, but that's where I live, so it's normal. Alright, he can play F4 and just hold on to his center for what it's worth. That's all he can do. But white is clearly just clearly down a pawn for no compensation. Acerbate with a random comment of the day. Vasily Smyslov was an opera singer. Thanks for sharing. Sharing is caring. And actually, he's not the only famous chess player who's a musician. Portish as well. And Taimanov, yeah. So it's not uncommon to be a prodigy in music and chess. White still has some space here, so I have to be a little bit careful. We got a really good time advantage, though. I'm thinking bishop e3, and if I play b6, he can try a4, a5 with a little bit of play there. Now he's heading for g5. Not nice, sir. I don't want any residents on g5. Lugansky is a good chess player, 2200. Wow. I think that it's natural for people to gravitate toward music and chess. I'm not particularly talented with music. I like music, but I'm never performing. Lasker was a musical. Okay, we'll take Trip Chance's challenge because it's late for him. Even though he's not a subscriber, I don't mind. If you guys are regulars to the stream, we can take those challenges. Trip Chance has played now for the 3rd time. I think, yeah, that's pretty insensitive. Anyway. Thanks, Bob. Knight g3 here, very unusual move. It's always Bob's fault. Naka's singing and dancing. He learned that from his stepdad. So we're just going with that h-pawn. H-pawn power. Ponda. You're not doing endorsements, Bob? You know how to pick them. You should be like a pollster or something. Yeah, I think we should just develop our pieces at this stage. Mr. Coffee is confused. Yeah, it's not that obvious, Mr. Coffee. I don't want it to be obvious. It's like chess. You don't want everyone to understand what you're thinking. You want to kind of tell. You don't want to telegraph. Don't worry about it. It's not that. It's really not obvious. So, knight f3. Yeah, we're going to need to try to protect the h-pawn. Emmanuel Portish. There's a mix. It's a hybrid between Lasker and Portish. Thanks for explaining, Bob. It's not a big deal. Absolutely not. See, Bob, this is what happens. It reminds me of what was that guy that was on the stream quite a bit? He might have been a subscriber once. He just kept, but he was like, occasionally I thought he was cheating. Now I can't remember. I forgot his name. It was tough having conversation with him. Moving on. I just played knight e4, losing my concentration. Moving on. Kind of non-traditional play here by both sides. I think I should just probably go for it at this point. Though d5 is a bit of a problem. How big a problem is it exactly? I guess we're going to find out. Extreme caveman. Yeah, this I don't know. This is a little bit crazy. Yeah, Bob understands me. Reads my mind. Don't know why Trip Chance is trading pieces here. This was a really good spot to play d5. Anytime you play the Scandinavian or the Caro-Kann with white and you can bust up black structure with d5, I think it's pivotal. You know, now he has to trade to an endgame. And that should really favor me. I've had the feeling like I'm up material in this game for some reason. Clearly I'm not up any material. I was thinking g4. g4 takes, bishop takes, g4. What if we just go for it? He has some miracle ways out, like take, rook d4. It actually works. If g4 takes, bishop takes, g4, rook d4. Bishop takes e2, rook takes e4, and white is really okay. So the other line that's not so convincing is like bishop c5. Asterbate is claiming that David Bowie played chess like a master. That's new to me. Is there any truth to that? I certainly don't know everything. G4 takes, bishop takes. There's other problems here like F3. Kind of should consider consider that first. I looked at bishop C5 check, but then king F1. Ooh, then H3. Ouch. All right, let's do this. Let's hope that he doesn't listen to the stream while he's playing. Omar Sharif used to do bridge columns, right? Wasn't he like a columnist for newspapers? This is where we insert the F word. But I think I'm okay just by complete luck. Like, I missed knight d4, but I have moves against that. I can play knight g3. Like, it's fortunate that I'm not lost here, because I didn't analyze this. H3. Speaking of H3. He was retired. Second life. Different David Bowie. Interesting position. The Ponda. The H Ponda. Let's shout out some Pondas. Got a little bit of lag going on. H4 Ponda. It should be H5 Ponda. All right. Looks like he found an answer, an antidote. An answer-dote. That's a serious problem, dude. All right. Well, now we have to castle. All our pieces are in the game. Did I miss something? Was bishop takes better? He's gonna survive this. Damn. Fast player. He did a good job surviving. I'm sure that I missed something here. I'm still better, but it's pretty solid for white now. I have to be a little bit careful, actually. I don't lose a piece or something. It looks drawish now. It's kind of a tragic game. I mean, I was like virtually winning before. Now I'm like fighting for a draw. My knight doesn't have any squares. The two bishops are good. I must have missed something. Can I play f6? Should I play f6? Is it a problem? Should be okay, I think. I think it's still a draw. It's like a force field. Now my knight's in the game, at least. At least I have a knight. He overpressed a little bit. Right, that was lucky. Bob is up next. What's up, Bob? He's commenting during the game. That guy was commenting? Alright, guys. So Bob's up. The knight wins in blitz, right? Yeah, cheap forks and stuff like that. It's funny that it wasn't a knight fork. It was a bishop skewer. Alright. The boring English strikes again. He was commenting like in the chat on lichess. He was certainly pretty fast. The Caruana variation, so d5, cd, knight d5, bishop g2, bishop c5. We could transpose, but I'm not going to give him that option. Guys, check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube, where I analyze this variation and other good stuff. I'm almost up to 2,000 record-breaking YouTube subscribers. Help it make it possible, guys. Also, I'd like to get up to 3,000 followers here on lichess. You can follow me on lichess. Bob knows the line. Bob must have watched my YouTube channel. D4 has been played. It's speculative. soothing. It's all relative. It depends on your perspective. It looks like Bob just got lucky. So you're supposed to play c5 here, Bob, after e4. The most recent example of this variation was like someone played it against Aronian, I think. Not very recently either. For example, like Magnus Carlsen played this line with white some years ago, and he chose not to play knight takes e5. I think that professional players might opt not to play knight takes e5 because the problem at the highest levels, I think, is that it trades pieces, and it might make a draw a little bit more likely. But I think below, you know, the elite level, this variation with knight takes e5 is actually white's best winning chance. I mean, this was the way that I think actually Botvinnik played it. Bean eating. Asterbase says, for my first over the board tourney, I'll be sure to eat lots of baked beans. Asterbase, first of all, we're not supposed to mention food. But secondly, let's not go there, okay? Asterbase, why no challenges today? Instead of random comments, you could come up with some good chess for us. You could challenge me to 7+3. Guys, we have time. I don't know, we have time for like a 5+3 maybe, Asterbate. We might have time if you want, but you're more into 7+3. You don't feel like you have to play. Thanks, Baronzin Knight, for being a subscriber. Joining us, guys. 29 viewers. You challenged, but it floated away. WJ. Come on, Bob. The central pawns are your friends. My central pawns are your friends, Bob. The damage to the king not being able to castle is really not as important as the strong center. That's why c5 is so important. It keeps white honest. So d4 is not as big a deal. Now it's a very big deal. I'm not sure if strong players have played d6. Almost everyone knows, you know, the standard procedure here. Coordination of pawns and pieces. Your knights are not allowed to have fun in this position. Can you just retreat the knight, then still follow up with c5? I mean, after knight takes e5, e4. It's his move, right? So let's say he plays d6 and I play d4 and he just retreats the knight, you know, to g6 most usually. Yes. I would probably play something like, let's say he went knight g6, h3, and then tries to play c5. Yeah, I mean, probably that is the best way he should continue. It looks like you have the right idea to try to grip the position and try to play for an outpost. Try to get me to push my pawn to d5. Absolutely. He should. Now we'll try to castle by hand, perhaps, with rook f1 and king g1. Rook e1. This is Park Hustler castling. Anybody here ever seen a skilled chess Park Hustler in action? Whenever you get this type of situation where you castle by hand, sometimes they trick, or sometimes even just with normal castling, they'll play like castles and rook e8 all in one move. It's a classic Hustler trick. But I can do the Hustler trick like legally here with rook e1. The rigged clock, though, in the days of analog clocks, very common. Okay, guys, I'm ending the stream at 8 o'clock. Going to rustle up some dinner. Wow, Bob just totally freaked out. It was a mouse slip. It's the Benko. This, like, loses a piece, doesn't it? Because I'll play e5 next move. In fact, I could have played e5 straight away. It didn't even occur to me. It may as well. It may just as well win a piece. Just be very careful not to overextend yourself, William. That's what it's there for. Delicious. Wasn't that a... That was a Apu on The Simpsons meme. Infinite Flash Chess hasn't been here in ages. It was like horrible, terrible, delicious. Yes. This is delicious. Okay, primary... Otherwise known as Purple Dragoon. I don't think I played d4 today. What I saw is knight f3 also pushing the g2 pawn. g2.5. And 3 moves later, bishop g2 pushing the g2.5 pawn to g3. Piece of art. This is a hustler trick. Yeah, like halfway between the squares. He was here on Sunday. Pawns halfway between squares are classic. But my favorite hustler trick of all, which I actually did to someone once in a blitz tournament, is the the rook halfway between squares. I won a very important blitz game in a tournament with that trick. Intentionally hanging your rook out of desperation. I mean, I'm not proud of it, but I didn't like this guy, and he was kind of a jerk, so I don't really feel bad about it. I would feel bad about doing it to a sportsman-like opponent. Maxim Dlugi style. Just dropping rooks. When the other player starts making automated moves, like you're in blitz, you're in very bad Zeit, not in blitz game, and one player is just like pushing their pawn and pushing their pawn and pushing their pawn without even, like, you know, instantaneously hitting the clock, without even looking to see what you're doing. That's the perfect moment to, like, put your rook, like, on pre-ease against their rook, you know, gambling essentially that they won't see that your rook is hanging. You have to make it like kind of between two squares a little bit, so that it's not that obvious, you know. And then there'll be this like fight after the game or after the move, like, was it on this square or that square? But anyway, I mean, they should clarify, you know. It's all part of the game. I learned it from one of the best blitz players in the world. But I would only do it against someone who was dirty to begin with. It's hard to do it in online chess, though. Somewhat difficult. All right, so this is like hybrid. What is some sort of hybrid Tartakover. Tarrasch T. I don't know what made me play Queen C2 actually. No, I like queen c2. H6, bishop h4. So b6 I've never encountered here. Actually, on h6 I could have played h4. I've probably played that move before, but it's probably like kind of dicey. Be our second h4 today. Our second caveman style h4. I think if the opponent is not even looking at what moves you're making, they deserve to lose to some sort of stupid trick, you know? It was an important victory because my friend ended up winning the tournament because of that game. It was kind of a miracle. Blobby said there's a video guy trying to trick a black bishop h3 after g3. Oh yeah, like yeah, the ultra bullet over the board. I mean, I knew a guy who used to do that, like the bullet bishop h3 bishop h6 trick in over the board chess. 1 minute, it's like ridiculous. Like how how can that possibly work in an over the board game? You'd have to be a complete idiot. Like that's really too much. When you see their hand coming all the way out there to this, I mean, you can't physically press the clock fast enough to not see that they're like putting their bishop out there. I saw it, the guy do it, and it actually worked. But his opponent was really weak. I mean, in over the board bullet, you could never. That would never work. That's funny. I'm not sure about this. I'm pretty tired, guys. So if I lose, I wouldn't be surprised. Been a long day. I didn't eat enough. Didn't have a proper lunch today. What did I eat for lunch today? That's a problem. Snack bars, granola bars. What did I have? A banana? You gotta eat properly. Shrimp dumplings. Chinese. I should go get Chinese, Bob. That's a good idea. It's a little late though. I'm too hungry to wait to like order food. I have to like eat something that's already prepared. Guys, tomorrow is our Tuesday stream, so we're doing our normal schedule Tuesdays. Arena. Mr. Coffee will be there for the horses and Ponda arena. Last week we did it on Wednesday because of schedule change. Just Quans. I haven't seen Mr. Quan in a while. I'm a little worried about him. The family's holding down the fort at the local Chinese restaurant. You like holding an extra rook and dropping it on a square as a reach to move something en prise. After taking the third rook, my opponent gets suspicious. I'm just reading this crazy acerbate comment. Alright, so bishop e4, bishop h4, knight e4, pawn e4, knight e4, pawn e4, bishop e4, bishop h4. What the heck is going on there? Lots of tactics. Knight e4, pawn e4, bishop e4, bishop h4, bishop c6. And then I'm just down a piece. This is like playing Munich. Well, Primary disease has just 49 games. Hoppa. Yeah. I think that Quans might be some sort of chain or something. There's a lot of those. I guess it's just an extremely common name. Like Bob Sakamano. Alright, what are we doing here? Can we grab that pawn with Queen e4? I don't know if this helps or harms my position, but if he plays king f8, his king is more exposed. If he plays king h8, the f7 pawn could be unprotected at some later stage. That's my thinking. Anywho. Maybe I should just go back to d3. Very solid play by black. Very solid opening, but not a common system. h6 against queen c2. New to me. If e4, transferal of plan to something completely different. f7 could effectively be a factor. Karpov against the Tartakova would often play a delayed e4, and I've had success with this idea in the past. Now we devastate his pawn structure. I'm not sure it's enough, though. You know, it's enough to win the game, per se. I mean, white is probably better. Mate. No, he saw that. Knight h4. Try to centralize. We'll see what he does here. Seems a little tricky for both sides. White should be better with the pawn structure. He chose h7. It was a tough decision between g7 and... kind of a tough decision between g7 and h7. See, g7 protected f6. But he didn't want to block... You see, instinctively he didn't want to block his g file. So it's kind of, that's what I'm saying. It's tough to decide which way he should go there. He's trying to be more aggressive by playing king h7. Wow. That's exceedingly aggressive. Cheesy noob. That ring any bells? For anyone? Just popped in my head. He's currently in Nepal. I'm in Antarctica and in the International Space Station. I think... Let's see. Can you set your VPN to International Space Station? I've got to be a little bit careful here. He sent you a message out of nowhere? Just recently? That's weird. I want to keep that bishop completely contained. I thought he missed queen h3, but maybe I had something I didn't see there. That's crazy, Jim. Strange coincidence. I guess I could play king g2 at any point. Sure, Patu Shark. Wow, what's going on with that move? Queen f7 with check. Huh. I guess this is going to be, what do we got? Mathematic Chess challenging me to rate it. We don't do rated on the stream. I don't know if I want to open another file. I think I have enough open files, thanks. I could play rook d7. No, I hang f3. Anyway, he lost some time. This is too much. It's 2 pawns up. So it was a good fight. Do you prefer to use what, Bob, are you talking about? All right, guys, that's it for today. I'm gonna get some food. We're gonna quit 5 minutes early. No time for another game. So Tuesday we've got the arena, the Panda and Horses arena. You guys have to join the team to play in the arena tomorrow night. And only friends and subscribers are allowed in the team. Mr. Coffee will be here to help, I assume. And again, thanks everybody for the games. Tough game against Blubbigs today. Cheers, guys. More cheers. No, just really appreciate it. Just subscribe and thanks for being part of the stream. Mr. Coffee, I'll see you tomorrow night. And, you know, we'll have a little arena, a little fun. And, again, normal schedule this week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. So don't forget to check out the eBay channel, page. And if you do buy something on my eBay page, don't forget to make sure you have an updated address, because I don't want you to have me sending it to strange places that don't exist. Anyway, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks, Mr. Coffee. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Also, check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. Support the stream. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you guys.